Hello, and welcome to the Darby Creek Diaries. I'm Gail Thompson, and today I'm so excited to bring you some fabulously talented gals from the Ohio Stamp Junkies. We had a little challenge called, I nicknamed it kind of the background bowl, and that's because no sports were going on, and it wasn't a competition, it was more of a challenge. I had a bunch of backgrounds sitting in a tub in my craft room, and I'm looking at them going, what am I going to do with these? Because, I just will sit down and make a bunch of them, and some of them weren't beautiful either. And I thought, well, maybe we'll have a challenge where you get a background and you have to do something with it. The only rule was you had to use at least part of it. So I contacted Avra Williams, our fearless leader, and she was on board with it right away. And so we put out the challenge and I sent out the backgrounds, no matter how ugly or beautiful they were. And I was just stunned by the results. So let's dig in, shall we? This background is just Distress inks splattered. It was supposed to be candy corn, but then I realized that the colors were backwards. It's supposed to be orange, white, and then yellow. But look what Sharon Barkaloo did with this. She turned it into a beautiful beachy paradise scene. It would never have occurred to me to do that. And it's just a fantastic job. New die cut is from Concord and Ninth, and the rest of the stamps and dies are from Lawn Fawn. And she just did a beautiful coloring job. If anybody has questions about exactly what everybody used, just put it in the comments below and I'll answer you. But I wasn't going to do a supply list because it really wasn't about that. This next one is a spider web stencil from Hero Arts. It seems to be a recurring theme. I do a lot of stuff for Blog Name Hero, the Facebook team, and I have a lot of Hero Arts things, and it just wound up that you'll see a lot of that today. But that was just black cardstock, and I just spritzed shimmer mist through it. And look what a fantastic job Mary Kay did with it. Once again, never even occurred to me to use it as kind of a wild and crazy background. I would have probably done something Halloween-y with it. But it's just as cute as it can be. And this gal with attitude from Tailored Expressions, and the sentiment is from Delusions. Added some crystalline drops from Gina K Designs to the eyes to make them look wacko. She did a great job. And she also had a second card because there was a little mix-up. She thought the mail didn't get there. And it's darling as well. The background is another Hero Art stamp. It's the marbling one. I'm not sure where the little gnome is from, but she is on an action wobble, so she just wobbles around. Very cute. The next card here is from Linda Gorman, and I don't have a before of the background, but I'm going to put a link up above that will show you a tutorial where I actually made the background. But she took it, and it's kind of a wonky background, and she took it and just made the cutest little turtle card out of it. I just adore it, and she used a lacy border, which I would not have thought of using that. And that's from Gina Marie Designs. And then the turtles are from Joy Claire Stamps, and she used Gold Luxe Dream Drops from Nuvo. Then this background seems to be recurring. I did a lot of them. I just used the white glimmer paste. It's kind of iridescent, and that is once again a Hero Arts Waves background or stencil. And I used the postage stamp frame, but then later that doesn't matter because that part got cut off. Avra doesn't waste a thing. You know, when you've been stamping a while, you want to save every little bit of it. So she made 3 cards. The first one is she uses it as actual water, and it, you know, has a wobbler on it, and it's just as cute as it can be. Then the second one, it's like surfing the waves. And then the last one, it's just a cute little beach scene. She used the penguin from Sugar Pea Designs, and the sun on the first card is from Proulx, and the Coastal Cuties are from Sunny Studio, and this last card's background is a Hero Arts die that she just used as a stencil. This background is from the UR background stamp from Simon Says Stamps, and she also used the How You Bean Star add-on set and made a really clever card with, you know, combining the U's. Thank you, Pat Baker. This background uses the Nouveau watercolor powders, just kind of sprinkled on there and misted. Paige turned this into a wonderful card. I would have never thought to make a Christmas card out of it, and she used Winter Skies stamps by Lawn Fawn. And this stencil's a Hero Art stencil that could either be used as bark or as maybe an animal thing. It was one of those, what was I thinking when I made this? But Loraine turned it into a wonderful card that I would have never thought of using this background for this. And on that note, here's another wonky Hero Arts background that I really didn't know what I was going to do with, so it sat in the pile, and Mary Reiner made 2 darling cards with a ladybug theme. So cute and creative. The gnomes were from Simon Says Stamps, and this darling card, the ladybugs, are from Lawn Fawn. And here are a couple more backgrounds from, you guessed it, Hero Arts that were used on the next couple of cards. These feature the Robin's Egg Blue Distress Ink. Popp accented the large flower stencil with some lovely green cardstock. I'm not exactly sure where the sentiment came from. And then we have Ruth Homan, who turned this into a seascape. I would have never thought of doing that with an Art Deco background. Very imaginative. And then this is the background. I don't have it pictured, but it is from a tutorial where I used the watercolor powders from Nouveau. And that is the Art Deco stencil again. And Cheryl Densmore just did a fabulous job. And isn't that watering can realistic? But I do not know where she got the stamps. But I can ask her below if anybody wants to know. Just ask in the comments. And then here's another Hero Arts stencil. This is the bold daisy background, and Melody Blake just knocked it out of the park. She used a lot of stamps and dies from the stamp market. There's a cover die, the circle cover dies that she used on the main background, and then she took those pieces and strategically inlaid them with pattern paper from Pink and Maine. And I don't have the before picture of this, but it's still that Hero Arts waves pattern, and I used it in a tutorial recently. But Cheryl Brun did a beautiful job with this pineapple, and she's going to be sending it to Hawaii to her daughter, who is going to be in Hawaii for a year. It's just so cheerful. I just love it. Leeanna Lowe took this bold, large flower stencil from Hero Arts and used Tailored Expressions striped diagonal cutting plate, and then she had made some color copies, so she used a reverse stenciling technique from Gina K, and the center card are the leftover strips from the first card. Very clever. Here's our old buddy, the Hero Arts Waves stencil. It's pretty similar, the stencil, the coloring and everything, of the one that Avra got. But Debbi Fichter decided to make it as part of a frame for her little fairy. And it's just darling. I don't know where the fairy came from, but the pattern paper is from Photoplay. Here is the Starry Nights background stencil from guess who? Hero Arts. And I just embossed it with glittery embossing powder. And look what a wonderful card Betty Denney made. She looks like she blended the background with some distress inks, probably soot and carved pumpkin, which would be kind of appropriate. And she didn't say where her other die cuts are from, but I would have never thought of turning it into a Halloween card, and it's just gorgeous. This is just a random alcohol inked background that I had sitting around. And Sherry Proulx, I hope I'm not butchering her name, die cut it and turned it into beautiful butterflies. And she also used the inside. She took the remaining pieces to decorate the inside of her card. I don't remember where this stencil came from, but the triangular little design, Jessie Hansen cut into 3 strips and made 3 darling cards out of it. That is just transfer gel that I spread over the stencil, let it dry, and then I foiled it with my laminating machine. Very easy to do. But that was kind of a hard background to deal with, and she did a great job. The next background is a watercolor resist, and this was actually a background stamp, and I believe it is from My Favorite Things. And I just watercolor it because I got some new watercolors one day and I just went to town, but I never got around to really using the background stamp. But Tara Distel just did a gorgeous job. She made a shaker card out of it because she didn't really want to cut it up or lose much of the background. And it's just darling. And last, but certainly not least, is the background that I just stamped with the Hero Arts stamp. It was part of a peacock set. And Debbie Daniels just went to town with this and made a gorgeous background. She fussy cut out one of the feathers, and she also die cut an oval out of the background. And the rule was you just had to use part of the background. You didn't have to use the whole thing. And she just incorporated a lot of complementary colors to that, and it's just beautiful. So that's all for our background bowl, our first challenge, the Darby Creek Diaries, in conjunction with Ohio Stamp Junkies. It was a lot of fun, and I hope to do something again soon. I hope you'll show the gals some love and comment below and hit like. That just would make their day, I'm sure. So I'm going to let you go, but if you would also consider subscribing and take a look at my playlist, because there are loads and loads of techniques there. And you'll also find a lot of those backgrounds or some similar. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.